Hey BT Big Kids parents, we wanted to give you guys a heads up on what we're going to be teaching in April. It's a jam-packed full month as we explore and unpack humility. And humility is putting others first by giving up what you think you deserve. Whew. This can be a really tough one, but it's central to who Jesus is and who he calls us to be. And we're excited to be able to talk about it with your 1st through 5th grader. So let's jump in and talk about the month. Our first Sunday of the month, we are going to celebrate Palm Sunday by talking about Palm Sunday and Jesus washing the disciples' feet. We're going to talk about how Jesus put others first in these two stories and how he did things that people didn't think you would do if you were considered the Son of God or the King of Kings. So that leads us to have a question that we're going to ask our BT Big Kids, which is, when has someone put you first? We want our kids to be able to start thinking about what humility looks like and how it makes them feel when somebody is humble toward them. And then we're going to be celebrating Easter here. We have Good Friday services on Good Friday, April 7th at 5:30, and then our regular Easter services at 9 and 11. And that is a Together Sunday, so our BT Big Kids are going to be celebrating Easter in Big Church with their folks. We're going to be able to see how we model worship and how we celebrate this amazing moment when Jesus humbled himself and went to the cross to die for our sins, and then 3 days later came back to life. And then after Easter, we're going to continue to talk about humility by looking at how we can be humble like Jesus. We're going to look at Philippians 2, where it talks about how Jesus humbled himself by going to death on the cross for you and for me. And we're going to talk about how we can put others first because Jesus put us first. And so our start the conversation question is going to be a little tough. What are some ways you can put others first? We're going to talk really practically about what this whole concept of humility looks like. And is it easy or hard to give up what you think you deserve? And next week, we're going to explore the road to Emmaus. This is one of my favorite stories. It's a story where two disciples are really struggling with what they just witnessed, and Jesus shows up, although they don't know it's Jesus at first. And Jesus explains everything that happened to him because he doesn't want them to miss out on what God is up to. And then they realize it's Jesus and their minds are completely blown. We want our kids to know that there's going to be things that they know that other people don't know, and we can come alongside them, just like Jesus did the two disciples on the road to Emmaus. And so our start the conversation question is, when has someone helped you understand something? And we can talk a little bit about what that was like for them and how they can then in turn do that for others. And then we're going to wrap up the month by talking about Jesus's restoration of Peter. Peter blew it right before Jesus went to the cross. He denied Jesus 3 times. But you know what? Jesus didn't give up on Peter. When we go and we seek out being forgiven or extending forgiveness, we're being humble. And we can do that because Jesus helps us do that. Our start the conversation question is, when is it hard to make things right? We just finished wrapping up forgiveness in March, and this is a great follow-up to talk about how forgiveness and humility work together to help us be able to make things right. And we can do that because Jesus did that for us. And that is our month. We are so excited to explore humility with your BT Big Kid and to talk about how they can put others first by giving up what they think they deserve. We know this is a hard concept. It's hard for us as adults, but we look forward to what God is going to do in the hearts of your kiddos and in the hearts of your families. All right, see you guys later.